Narrator. My friends, there are moments in history when a single event forces us to stand taller, to face the truth head-on, and to ask, what kind of future are we willing to fight for? For Burkina Faso, and for Africa as a whole, that moment has arrived. An unprovoked, unannounced U.S. airstrike on the very heart of Burkina Faso. This was no accident. No misunderstanding. It was calculated, a move many believe was meant to intimidate, weaken, and warn any African nation daring to walk an independent path. But instead of fear, something else began to spread. Unity. Defiance. And a deep, unshakable call for sovereignty the morning of the strike. 5:42 a.m. Over the skies of the Sahel, the low hum of jet engines turns into a deafening roar. Two precision-guided missiles tear through the air and slam into a rural military outpost in Yatina province. 3 dead, 2 soldiers, 1 civilian. 7 injured. A vital communications tower destroyed, cutting security posts across the region. Burkina Faso's Ministry of Defense confirmed. The strike came from U.S. Africa Command assets stationed in Niger, 380 miles away. And most importantly, it was carried out without prior consultation or consent. The nation responds. President Ibrahim Traoré addressed the nation live. This strike was not merely against our land, it was against our right to exist as a free and independent people. Within hours, 12,000 troops on high alert. Borders reinforced with an extra 1,200 soldiers. Strategic bases raised to DEFCON 2. But this wasn't just a military response. By nightfall, Revolution Square in Ouagadougou was flooded with 35,000 citizens. Flags waving, drums pounding, voices chanting in unison. Our land. Our right. Our future. Africa react. The very next morning, in Addis Ababa, the African Union called an emergency session. Within 18 hours of the strike, foreign ministers from 42 African nations joined a virtual summit. Traoré's words to them were clear. If the sovereignty of one African nation can be violated without consequence, then none of us are safe. In West Africa, condemnation poured in. This was no longer Burkina Faso's problem, it had become Africa's problem. The world responds. In Washington, the Pentagon called it an anti-terror operation. But when pressed, provided no names, no dates, no proof. At the UN, Burkina Faso demanded an Emergency Security Council meeting. Russia and China openly condemned the strike. France took a cautious, balanced tone. Across global media, the story split. African outlets, focusing on the sovereignty violation. Western outlets, focusing on the alleged terror threat. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger signed the Sahel Shield Alliance. A pact declaring, an attack on one, is an attack on all. In Algeria, closed-door talks began on shared intelligence networks and producing African-made defense equipment. Traoré told the AU summit. Sovereignty is not a gift, it is a responsibility, and it belongs to those willing to defend it. An unauthorized foreign drone strike killed 4 civilians. Within 24 hours, Niger's leader stood beside Ibrahim Traoré, declaring, "The era of unilateral foreign strikes in Africa is over." This was more than politics, it was a message. Africa's security will be defended by Africans themselves. Burkina Faso's journey is far from over. The pressure will grow. Challenges will come. But the spirit that has awakened, will not be put back to sleep. As Traoré himself declared, "We do not ask permission to be free. We stand, and we take."